The Wiggles were preparing for a party. Greg had baked a tasty banana cake for his guests, Dorothy the dinosaur, Wags the dog, Henry the octopus, and Captain Feathersword. The guests would soon be there, and so the Wiggles busily prepared Wiggle House. Jeff hung the decorations, Greg finished cooking the food, Murray tuned his guitar, while Anthony laid the food on the table. "I love parties, don't you?" asked Anthony. "You can play games and best of all, you can eat all this yummy food." Anthony started to sample some of the food. "What are you doing?" asked Greg. "Just taste testing, Greg, just taste testing," said Anthony. "No, you're not. You're eating the food we've made for our guests. Now please stop. I need you to help clean this area up," said Greg. But Anthony didn't stop eating. "I want to make sure that all the food is yummy for our tummies." And so Anthony, who loves eating food, continued to eat the food that was prepared for everyone. The excitement of the party and hanging all the decorations made Jeff feel sleepy. "I think I'll have a little nap," said Jeff. And so Jeff slept while Anthony continued to eat the party food. Dorothy the dinosaur, Wags the dog, Henry the octopus, and Captain Feathersword arrived at Wiggle House. They were all very excited about the games they were going to play and all the tasty food they would eat. The guests arrived at the door of Wiggle House. Floridor asked if they knew the secret password. They thought for a moment and then shouted together, "Lolly legs!" "Come in," said Floridor. "You remember the password and now you can enjoy the party with fun games and tasty food." "Welcome to our party," said the Wiggles. "Hello, Wiggles. It's lovely to be here," said Dorothy. "Ahoy there, my wiggly hearties," said Captain Feathersword. Dorothy the dinosaur giggled with delight. Wags the dog and Henry the octopus jumped up and down with excitement as they saw the beautiful party decorations. Captain Feathersword asked, "Hey, where is all the party food? I'm very hungry." "The food?" asked Anthony. He had eaten most of the food but didn't want to tell the Wiggles and their guests. Flies. Too many flies. Goodness, they are everywhere. I've got to keep them off the food, and so I've covered the food with a party cloth." The Wiggles thought this was strange, as they couldn't see any flies. Anthony wanted the others to think of other things. He didn't want them to know he had eaten all the party food. "Let's play some games. How about an apple game?" And so the Wiggles and their friends tried to eat an apple hanging from a string. They had their hands behind their backs, which made it very hard and very funny. Dorothy the dinosaur was the first to eat her apple, as she has such a lovely big mouth. Dorothy was the winner and was given a red ribbon. Murray gave coloured ribbons to everyone else. Everyone had fun with the apple game. "Let's eat!" shouted Captain Feathersword. "Yes!" said everyone except Anthony. "What about another game?" asked Anthony. "That is most unlike you, Anthony," said Greg. "You are usually the first one to eat the food." "Well, yes," said Anthony, "but I just love Pin the Tail on the Donkey. Come on, everybody. Here's the blindfold. Just put it on Wags and see if he can pin the tail on the donkey." And so the Wiggles and their friends finished playing Pin the Tail on the Donkey. Henry the octopus pinned the tail closest to the end of the donkey. "Congratulations, Henry," said Jeff. "Now let's eat the party food." Anthony suggested yet another game, but everyone wanted food. Anthony suggested that Greg performs a magic trick, but everyone still wanted food. Food, 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 they all chanted. Greg lifted the cloth off the table. The other Wiggles could not believe their eyes. Most of the food had been eaten. I told you the flies were bad, said Anthony. Flies? I don't think it was the flies, said Greg. I think it was you, Anthony. All those sandwiches, said Jeff. All that fruit salad, said Murray. The rosy biscuits, said Dorothy. Anthony realised he had eaten too much party food. He should have waited to eat with his guests. Oh, Anthony, you love your food. Apple, anybody? Asked Anthony.